welcome back to METV. So one of my most popular videos is how to Twitter the basics. It's like my runaway video. It's been watched more than any other video, and it actually makes up for most of the views of the total amount of my views on my channel. I'm going to cover a few things never to do on Twitter. Now that you're using it because you've watched my very helpful video, there's some things you want to make sure to avoid. And I've got my list right here so that I don't forget any of them. The first one might be, hands down, my biggest pet peeve when it comes to Twitter. When you follow someone, please do not ask them to follow you back. I'm just going to say it how I think it. It's so obnoxious. That's it. I had a Twitter follower a few weeks ago, and the person followed me, and I get a notification saying this username is now following you on Twitter. And before I even got a chance to tweet, "Thank you for following," this person tweeted me and said, "Please follow me. I'll follow you back," or "I followed you." Well, I'm not following anybody right now because I'm actually going to be filming a video on just that specific topic. So I didn't want to follow anybody yet. Not 10 minutes later, maybe it was half an hour later, she sent me another tweet telling me I hadn't followed her yet. And about a week later, she sent me another one. And then after that, she unfollowed me. Obnoxious. Believe me, I wasn't going to follow her back after the first one because I was saving my follows for my video. But it is such a turnoff, not only to myself, but for most people on Twitter, to be begged to be followed back or to be told, "Follow me, I'll follow you back." With that same tip, I'll tell you, do not put on your profile on Twitter, "I follow back." Because the truth is that everything that I do in my marketing, I do organically. I do not do anything. I might do a series of email marketing, but it's very targeted. It's very specific. It's going to the very small amount of people that are interested in that particular topic. The rest of the stuff is 100% organic that I do for myself and my client. When you follow somebody, even though it's not it's almost like spam. You're literally personally spamming everybody's inbox with your stuff and begging them to follow you. So again, this is my biggest pet peeve. I'm going to move on, but please, in Twitter, do not ask for follow backs. The next tip is do not follow everybody. Just because somebody follows you doesn't mean that you want to follow them. Some people have upwards of 60,000, 100,000, even more followers on Twitter. I use Twitter mostly for business. So when I am going through my feed, I'm looking for articles to either educate myself or that I feel are really powerful or helpful that I can share with the people following me. So I retweet them. But if I go onto my Twitter and I have followed every single person that has followed me, lots of small businesses follow me because they want my marketing advice. But if I follow them back, then I'm getting feeds on vacuum cleaners and on, I can clean your house for $1, and I can wash your car at your home. I can groom your dog and you never have to get out of your pajamas. I'll come to your house. I get all these and I have to scroll through before I can even find one article that I'm actually looking for. So remember that you don't need to follow everyone that follows you. You might want to make sure that you follow a business colleague or a personal friend. Of course, we don't want to hurt their feelings, but you simply don't have to follow everyone that follows us. Moving on to tip number 3. Please don't start Twitter wars. I hope if you're watching my videos, you're the kind of people that are above that. We are not Kanye. We cannot sit there and just start spouting out crazy things. Oh, man. If you're using your Twitter for business, and Twitter, unlike Facebook, there's only one account. It's you. It's who you are. So I might put something personal out there once in a while so that people get a feel for my personality, but I don't have a separate business page on Twitter. That doesn't exist. So if I'm starting a Twitter war at the personal level, then everyone that's following me professionally is going to see that. And even worse, don't start one in the business world. It's not worth it. Rise above, ignore it, unfollow the person if you need to, but don't start Twitter wars. We are not Kanye. Number 4, don't send me your sales pitch. A lot of people that I will start following, I get a private message. If you watch my Twitter video, you can see that you can get private, direct. They're called direct messages in Twitter. I immediately get this robotic sounding pitch to connect with them on Facebook. More so to go to their website and check out their website, or check out this deal that they have, or I just know you're gonna love this service. No, you don't know that. And I also know that you're sending that to every single other person that has followed you. And that's not really what Twitter is for. We're not there to automatically bombard somebody that's following us with our sales pitch. That's especially when it's done on auto send or auto response, which is called auto DM for direct message in Twitter. It's not good. It's a no-no. And I know a lot of people that have told me that as soon as they get one, they unfollow that person. I don't always do that. I try to be the nice guy, but all right, number 5, don't forget Twitter. A lot of times I will start following somebody because they've written an article that I really liked, and then they had their Twitter address there and I followed them or something of that sort. But then when I go on their Twitter account, they haven't tweeted a single thing in like 6 months. Now, I know that a lot of you out there started your Twitter account a long time ago and then never tweeted a single thing because it was overwhelming. So you left the account there and kind of walked away from it until you watched my How to Twitter the Basics video, because I've had so many people tell me, oh my gosh, now I'm using Twitter. So I know that that exists out there, but when I follow somebody and they're not twittering anything, then what am I following them for? I might as well unfollow them, because even though it's okay that you follow more people than are following you, it's bound to happen in most cases. There is something about that ratio. You don't want it to be too disproportionate. So you don't want to be following 10,000 people and only have 300 people following you. That doesn't make you look good on Twitter, especially in the business realm. So again, don't follow people just for no reason, just because they followed you. You don't have to follow everybody. And if somebody hasn't Twittered or used their account in 6 months, then what's the point? Don't follow them. All right, don't hashtag a tweet to death. I think if you watch, I don't know if it's Saturday Night Live or the, I don't know, you can YouTube it. There's a Justin Timberlake video that he did with Jimmy Fallon, and it is hysterical. And they hashtag everything. Hashtag, they use the word hashtag before every word. There's even a commercial now out there. Well, I've seen tweets where it's 2 words, great pic, and then they hashtag 15 things until they run out of their 140 characters. And then you look at it and you have no idea what the heck they're even trying to say. Don't hashtag something to death. For many of you, you're thinking, oh my gosh, I barely know how to use one hashtag. There are people out there that are using 5, 6, and 7 hashtags per tweet, and that takes up all the space. That's not the point of a hashtag. Please do not hashtag a tweet to death. Number 8, do not ignore people that interact with you. If you're one of those people that has 100,000 followers or 500,000 followers, you're going to get tons of tweets to you, about you, included, mentioning you, um, you might not be able to respond to every single one. However, if you're small, which most accounts are, it's totally doable to respond to every single person that interacts with you. I interact with every single tweet. And if you don't believe me, you can tweet me at NJC Events. And that's my Twitter call name. Tweet me and I will respond to you. Until I have 100,000 people following me, there's no reason why I shouldn't. I appreciate the conversation and I appreciate the interaction. I don't know if you guys are familiar with a little show called Duck Dynasty, but they did a special on them maybe a month or two ago. And the show has a staff of people filling a room, and their one job is to respond to tweets. So if you think it's not important to respond to tweets, if you think that social media is not important at all, then I think it's time you start researching a little bit and start learning how important it actually can be to your business, and more importantly, how much it's going to affect your business in the future, because it is the new wave. It's how we communicate these days. Number 9, thank people for a retweet. When somebody finds something that you tweeted so helpful or so what's the word, helpful, that they want to retweet it, so valuable that they want to retweet it, go ahead and thank them. You're going to get a notification, or once a week, go into your tab, watch my video. If you don't know how to do it, I'll put a link to it down below. Go into your Connect tab, see who's retweeted or who's contacted you, who's interacted with you on Twitter, and go ahead and respond to everybody. Again, until you have 100,000 Twitter followers, you can handle it. And I think it's a great way to interact with your customers and potential customers. And number 10, last but not least, please do not use or leave the standard egg as your profile picture. It's just not good. A lot of people won't even follow someone. You know, these days, social media is a great medium and it's a great platform to incorporate into your marketing. But it's also a scary world because you don't always know who you're interacting with. Sometimes you don't even know if you're interacting with a real person. Like I said, I get automated messages all the time. Oh, please go to my website. I know that person didn't sit there and tweet that. It's a standard form letter. It drives me nuts. So people are very hesitant about who they follow or who they allow to follow them. Make sure if you are a business and you're trying to use Twitter for business, that you include either your logo, something that's recognizable, your own image or photo like I do, which I incorporate my logo. I include my website, I include contact information, and a little bit about myself, so that when people follow me, they know who I and what I am. And I'm a real person that they don't have to be afraid of to follow. So that's it. Those are my 10 Twitter tips on what not to do on Twitter. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.